Alright, so I'm going to do a series of videos where I rate various retro video games from a certain company. And I'm going to do, in this video, arcade games from Nintendo. So classic arcade games from Nintendo from, I guess, the late 70s through the 80s. A lot of classics here, a lot of ones that I really like. So this is going to be based on like personal preference, personal liking, of course. So it's just my own personal liking to these games. It's not going to be like, yeah, it's just going to be how I feel about them. So it's not I'm not going to do like a general how most people feel. It's just how I personally feel about them. So first off, we have the game called Sheriff, and I've played all of these. This is 1979, so it's pretty good. You're like this little sheriff guy who's like shooting, I guess, like bad guys that are coming to get you. You're in the center of the screen, and you're trying to shoot like baddies from further out that are coming at you. As I recall, it's been a while since I played some of these, and I'm gonna give it for like, let's see, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Hell, heck with it. Space Fever, 1979. Let's see, what was that? Was like a sort of like a Galaxian style Space Invaders. They're like Nintendo's twist on it. I remember it being okay. I'm gonna give it like a 6 out of 10. Then there's Space Launcher. It's like this your guided missile to your target type of thing. Some of those games are actually pretty fun. I know Universal did a really good one game style game like that. Space Launcher, I'm gonna go 6 out of 10. All right, so Hellfire is next, 1980. You're basically a helicopter, and I think you're going to the left. You're like, it's an auto-scrolling shooter, an early auto-scrolling shooter. Like this is like pre like Scramble and pre Super Cobra. Um, is it I think it's a legit auto-scrolling shooter. And it's fun too. I'm gonna give it about a 7 out of 10. Got a lot of variety to it. Gets hard. You're um, are you a helicopter in the game? I think you are, but you might actually be a submarine that's traveling through water. Actually, as if I remember right, but it is good, and you're shooting helicopters at the top of the screen and different things in the water too. I'm gonna give that a 7 out of 10. Radar Scope. That's another like Space Invaders style game. That game is pretty cool. It looks good. It plays good. I don't know what to. I think I'll give it a 6 out of 10 though. It's like another one of. It's like sort of like a more Space Invaders than Galaxian, I think, but it's like a twist on those types of games. Space Firebird. Was that the same as Space Fever? Not sure now. Space Firebird, another like Galaxian style game. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. And then we finally get to Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong I always enjoyed. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Not my favorite, but not definitely not my least favorite. The next one though is Sky Skipper. I really, really enjoy Sky Skipper. Like a plane going around. I can't really explain the game too well. I know there's like bouncing gorillas and stuff in it. I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10. I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10. I don't know if I'm gonna give any of these a 10 out of 10, That's got to be like super wow me. But Sky Skipper is a great early arcade game. Donkey Kong Jr. I like Donkey Kong Jr. a lot. I think that gets another 9 out of 10. That's great. Popeye. Popeye's a really fun game too. I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. And the original Mario Brothers, I'm a big fan of that game. It's from 1983. From fun factor that I've had over the years, I'm giving that a 9 out of 10. Donkey Kong 3 is my favorite of the Donkey Kong games, giving it a 9 out of 10. I think it's really fun. It's more of a shooter type thing, where you're shooting Donkey Kong with like bug spray. There's a bunch of bugs flying everywhere, and you're like bouncing up these a couple platforms and trying to spray Donkey Kong to the top of the screen. I think it's really good. I think he throws like coconuts or something at you, too. Punch Out, the arcade Punch Out, I actually didn't play. I don't know. It must be somewhat similar to Mike Tyson's Punch Out, so I'm not going to rate that. I didn't play the arcade Punch Out. Arm wrestling, I didn't play arm wrestling. Can't imagine I'd actually like that game. I don't like arm wrestling games. There's not that much to those. Oh, and okay, so we get into the verse system games. So the VS version of Balloon Fight is great. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. The playfield is like bigger. There's like more to it. There might be more levels too. VS Baseball, it's okay. 5 or 6 out of 10. VS Clue Land, I like Clue Land. It's like an action puzzle style thing. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I always enjoyed it. VS Duck Hunt, it's Duck Hunt. I used to enjoy it as a kid more than I would now. Like now, it's just like a 7 out of 10, I guess. Back then, it probably would have been an 8 or a 9, though. Growing up, for sure. It was very enjoyable. Played Duck Hunt and Mario. It was fun to discover that there was another game on the Mario Kart than just Mario. As I remember, and you played with the Zapper, of course. And there was the clay shoot too, the clay shooting. So yeah, it was fun when you're just first played Mario for the first time, and then you discovered like that there's Duck Hunt on there too. VS Excite Bike, that's a 9 out of 10. Especially because there's extra bonus stages that are not in the console version, so that gets a plus. I've always enjoyed Excite Bike anyway. And the only knock on VS Balloon Fight in the arcade is there's no balloon trip. There's no like the side quest part, the whatever you want to call it, the balloon trip from the console version. That's always fun. But I'm still giving VS Balloon Fight a 9 out of 10. VS Excite Bike a 9 out of 10. Hogan's Alley, just a 6 out of 10. I don't really care. Mahjong, never played it. VS Pinball. Oh yeah, the Nintendo Pinball's great. I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. It's really fun. I never played the golf game. None of them. VS Tennis, actually played a lot of that. I thought it was pretty fun. I wouldn't say it's like the greatest game in the world, but I mean, I had a lot of fun with it. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's probably really fun with 2 players too. VS Urban Champion. I don't remember playing the VS version of that. Urban Champion's fine. It's like a 6 out of 10. Wild Gunman, don't remember that too well. VS Wrecking Crew. Now, Wrecking Crew is a great game. That's a fun game. I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. VS Ice Climber, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10, and here's why. Like, it expands on the console version. So you get, like, a lot more stages, and there's, like, wind and everything. There's, like, different things to it. Great game. I always had fun with that game. Mach Rider, 5 out of 10. I never cared for that game. Soccer was alright. 6 out of 10. And VS Super Mario Brothers, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. I like it better than the original Mario Brothers. It's kind of like a mixture between the original Super Mario, not Mario. The original Super Mario and like Mario Lost Levels or Japanese Mario 2. It's kind of like a mixture between those. It's a little bit more difficult and there's a few more stages in the VS Super Mario game. So I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. The volleyball game, didn't play much of that. VS Gumshoe, I really like VS Gumshoe. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a Zapper game, but it's like a platformer Zapper game. I never got very far in it, but I always enjoyed playing that game. VS Dr. Mario. I never really cared for like for it that much. I always liked playing Tetris a little bit more. Like, it's fine. So I don't like to rate things based on, I don't know. Cuz it's better than what I'm going to rate it. I'm going to rate it a 6 out of 10, but obviously Dr. Mario is better than that. Just personal preference, that's all. And I think is that it? Okay, that's it. For the, okay. So, yeah, let me know what your favorite Nintendo arcade game is. I think my favorite one, my favorite one would be, because I rated a lot of 9 out of 10s, no 10 out of 10s, no elusive 10 out of 10s. My favorite one would be, which one did I have the most fun with? Let's see. Well, I really like Donkey Kong 3. And I really like Excite Bike. See, it's probably between those two. I'll say, oh my gosh. I'll say the VS version of Excite Bike, and then the second one would be Donkey Kong 3. So those are my favorite Nintendo arcade games. Let me know what yours are as well. And I'll be back with more of these rating, retro gaming rating videos, again, because I enjoy doing them, and I hope that hopefully others out there find these kind of interesting. Let me know, and thank you for watching.